Circle of Excellence 3, Miss Lilian Ong.
Good morning. Wow. I can feel your love. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you, my SC brothers and sisters. All right. I think first we want to welcome our new friends into our SC community and SC family. Am I right? Let's give them a big round of applause, okay? For showing up early in the morning on a Sunday. All right, did we have fun? Yeah. How many new friends? Can I see? Can you wave? I know sometimes we are a bit shy to raise our hands, all right, but you can feel very safe here, okay? So let's give them a resounding round of applause, yeah? Woo! Okay? I think the new friends must be wondering why the people here are so crazy, right? You know, like always so happy. You know, one moment can be laughing, the other moment is crying. Right? You know why we are always so happy? Do you know why? Because we know dreams can come true, right? Yes or no? Yeah, yes. And I know that we all come from a different background, but what do we all have in common? Make a guess. What do we all have in common? Definitely not height, right? What do we all have in common? We all want to give our loved one, including ourselves, our family, a better life, right? Yes or no? Right. I think God always bless people who are willing to take up more responsibilities. Yes? Yeah, so you are the God-chosen one. Am I right? Yeah. Give yourself a round of applause. Yes. Actually, I'm not very stressed, but after I hear Sean last night, I became a bit more stressed. I think he did an awesome dream night last night. Let's give Sean and Janice a big round of applause, yeah? Yeah, I think some of our new friends must be wondering, you know, why we had such a long recognition night last night. The first time I came, right, I was like, wow, there's so many achievers, and the recognition is like the entire night. All right, it's so long, right? But, you know, we are not so used to this culture because in the outside world, when you do well, what you really get is just a pat on the back, right? But over here, we celebrate in length your success because you are worth it. Yes or no? Yeah, because you are worth it. So I think that's the reason why, you know, and I believe in the subsequent LTS is coming down the road, we will be seeing you on the stage, yes? Give me a chance to hug you on the stage itself, right? If you think you're the next one, you give yourself applause, all right? A round of applause. All right, I need a lot of energy because I had only 2 hard-boiled eggs for breakfast. I think you all eat a buffet breakfast, right? Yeah, so I only had 2 hard-boiled eggs, so I need a lot of energy from you guys. Yeah. I think this month, what month is this month? It's January. It's the beginning of the year. So normally, what do we do in the beginning of the year? Yeah, we set New Year resolution. Anyone set New Year resolution here? Yeah. So I think one of the New Year resolution that we can set in common together is to discover the best you this year. Yes? Yes? Yeah, not just physical, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, we discover the best of ourselves. If you are with me, please let me see. We are in this together, in this discovering the best you journey together. Yes. So I hope that for this remaining morning session, you can open the eyes of your heart. Okay, open the eyes of your heart. You know, usually in the outside world, we use a lot of our logic. But I think over here, I learn to unleash the power of my heart. I hope you can join me today. Open the eyes of your heart. Because, you know, our mind, our heart is like a parachute. It only works when it's open, yes or no? And this year, we are very blessed that we can come back for a big meeting, right? And I think years ago, we just came out of the pandemic, right? And what did we learn from this pandemic? What did we learn from this pandemic? That we never take anything for granted. Yes? This hall is a bit cold, huh? Do you feel cold? I don't know, I feel that the hall is cold. Prove me wrong. Or I'm underdressed. Right, so and what do we learn in the pandemic is that we shouldn't take anything for granted, all right? And we have seen, that actually many businesses closed down during the pandemic, especially businesses that has big capital, big investment, big overhead, a lot of manpower. They were actually, they actually can't survive through the crisis. All right, I think I was reading a news recently. How many of you know of a company called WeWork? This co-working space, is it common in KL? Is it common in Malaysia? Yes, it's very common, right? And I think I saw their office, quite a number of offices in Singapore and Malaysia as well. And do you know that in US, this company is now undergoing bankruptcy? And not just that they are, not just that the business is not doing well, but they are in debt of 19 billion US dollar, all right, because they couldn't tide through the crisis, all right. So I think, through this pandemic, right, we realize, okay, enough of my face, back to the next slide, right? The most important thing is, are we ready for the next crisis, right? So some people say, wow, we just stepped out of a crisis and now are we ready for the next crisis? But we know that crisis is always here, right? Yes or no? Yeah, and as we are celebrating, the end of COVID-19, suddenly there's a surge in cases, right? Yeah, so, and this is me, all right? As you can see, I'm never pretty since young. So my most favorite word in the dictionary is called potential. Okay? This one, the face look very toot, right? And a bit loot, right? Okay, only the Southeast Asian people know what is toot and loot, nah? Yeah, so I was never pretty since young, okay? But of course, like everybody else, I think one of the reasons why I can identify this opportunity at 25 years old is because since young, I already have a few crises that's happening to me, all right? So when I was turning 12, 13, all right, my first crisis was my dad and my mom. Okay, I came from a single parent family, and my dad was a sole breadwinner. All right, so he actually left us when I was 12 and 13, and then that left me, my mom, a housewife. All right, have to take care of me and my brother since young. All right, so that was really a life-changing crisis. So at 13, I actually started working. All right, anyone like me started working in your teens? Anyone like me? Wow, amazing. I'm not the only one. Right? So, the rest are very blessed. And I realized that financial independence is very important. Don't you think so? Anyone, before you come into the room, you think money is not important one? Put out your hand. You dare not put out your hand. Honestly, is Malaysia an expensive place? Is it expensive? I've been going to some of the restaurants in Malaysia. I never walk out with less than 500 ringgit. Wow, then I was thinking that if I'm earning ringgit, wow, money is really, really very important here, right? Yes or no? And I was looking at my favorite champagne and wine, they cost easily above 500 ringgit because it's imported, right? So, if you think that money is not important, means you have never been poor before, all right? But if you have been poor before, you know that money is not everything, but money is an essential item in life. Yes? Yeah, so that was my first lesson. And I think when I was there, I was thinking, oh, I was so unfortunate growing up this way. All right? Sean said he had a teaspoon. I think mine was an invisible spoon. Right, so and that was a life-changing moment. All right, so if you are having a crisis, in Chinese we say 危机, although there's a danger, but there's an opportunity right behind it. All right, so that probably gives me the foresight or the vision to actually see that, planning for my future is very, very important. And then what is the second crisis that happened to me before I even started working? Was I graduated from NUS. Anyone from NUS or university here? I thought we are all from ST University. We are all from ST University, right? Yeah, okay. You know, whatever I learned in NUS, I never practice. Whatever I learned in ST University, I practice every day. Right? So, you know, and I graduated in NUS in 1998. Anyone born already? Or who is born after 1998? Right. So, you know, and it was a financial crisis. All right. Anyone born in that era? I'm the oldest one. Goodness. I'm almost 50, you know, this year. I'm so glad they invented age lock. Age is just a number, right? So, you know, and I was graduating and I was like, great aspiration. I want to do well, climb the corporate ladder. And you know what? Goodness, you know, no one can find a job. So all my classmates went backpacking because they had teaspoon, silver spoon, gold spoon, right? So I had an invisible spoon. So I really, was searching frantically for a job. And of course, I managed to get a job. But then the second crisis I had, I grew up thinking that, you know, I should get a stable job. But then I realized that jobs are not stable. How many of you agree this? All right, so we have been growing up with a wrong belief. We think that jobs are stable, but right on the contrary, jobs are stable or not stable? They are never stable. They are never stable. You know, it's just like now, you know, after the pandemic. Okay, enough of me. IT, next slide, please. You know, just like now we thought that we are out of the pandemic. You know, things are getting better, rosier, the future is brighter. And you know what? More and more jobs are lost, all right? More and more jobs, especially in the tech sector, all right? We know that the tech sector is now the up and coming, and we all wanted a job in Google, Amazon, you name it, right? But on the contrary, they are retrenching the most people. And they're not retrenching by the tens, not retrenching by the hundreds, but thousands and tens of thousands. And this is not what I said, okay? All over the news. And even recently, just very recent, within this month, all right, Google. I think Google is definitely one of the company that everybody want to work in, all right? While you're busy sending resume, trying to secure a better job in Google, they're retrenching. And they're retrenching based on this article, tens of thousands. Tens of thousands of people. Even Lazada, you know, we think that such e-commerce website and platform is the in place right now to work. Even Amazon, they are retrenching. They lost 27,000 workers. All right, and why is that happening? Why? Of course, some people say because during Zoom, everybody go online. There was a great demand. So, you know, they need a lot of this such platform stuff. But in fact, it's more than just that. Okay? Thanks to AI, all right, a lot of jobs are being made redundant, okay? Especially back end, those mundane, operational, even engineering kind of jobs are replaced by artificial intelligence, all right? Many times when you call the bank or when you type on the website for inquiry, you're not talking to somebody, you're talking to a robot, right? Yes or no? And, you know, what are the jobs that are unlikely to be replaced by AI? All right, jobs that involve personal and interpersonal skills. All right, that are very, very unlikely. Imagine if AI sell you TNIT, will you buy? You'll probably give the AI a lot of rejection, right? Correct? Yeah. You know why do you buy? You buy TNIT because of that level of trust. Yes or no? Right, so that's why. So we are so glad we are in the right industry and the right business, right? That is unlikely to be replaced by AI. In fact, you know, we all heard about this brand called Tesla. Anyone drive a Tesla electric car? So few. Anyone? No. All right. So, you know, Tesla, in fact, Tesla, right, you know, from the factory line production is 100% made by robot. Yeah, it's 100% made by robot. So in time to come, a lot of things that you're holding on today will be made by robot. So one day, without you knowing, you don't even know why your job is lost. It's what we always call the cook frog theory. Have you heard about the cook frog theory? If not, you ask Google, okay? All right. And you know, even when they give you the golden handshake or they give you a handshake, right? Sometimes they do it in the way that is also very AI, a tad inhumane, right? You know, I have a friend, a daughter, one of my teammates, she works in PricewaterhouseCoopers. Her daughter is in Google Singapore, all right, and she was in HR. So you know how they fire people? They don't tell you in person. They send you via email. They send you via email. So a lot of their staff are really waiting with a heavy heart to see if they have received this email. If they have received this email, they will be given a handshake and they will be asked to go. All right, so even, you know, they were saying, can you do it with a more human touch? With a more human touch. And let's say today, you know, everything go on smoothly. Everything go on smoothly. You have a perfect employment career life. All right, and what age do we retire in Malaysia? 60. Sorry? 65. All right? Indonesia is 55. All right? Indonesia is 55. But don't envy them. Don't envy them. Singapore, about 65, 70. Sometimes at the petrol kiosk, I have uncle above 70 pumping my petrol though. All right? But, you know, imagine today you study 20 years. And then you work 40 years. Right? And then you retire. Right? From 65 to 85. All right? That's the average life expectancy. But what is your income after retirement? What is your income after retirement? This zero need to be louder. What is your income after retirement? You know why you need to say so loud? Because in life, sometimes we need a certain wake-up call. Right? Because, you know, sometimes, many a times, we live in the moment. We never think so far. But can you imagine, after you study 20 years, you work 40 years, finally, when it's time to retire and enjoy life, your income is back to zero. Right? So I have seen many people who are in their 60s, 70s, they actually downgrade their lifestyle, downgrade their house, downgrade their job, downgrade their lifestyle, their car, so that they have enough to grow old. All right? Would you look forward to that? Do you look forward to that? So this is the reason. A lot of people say, why I'm a sales director in a media company, you know, and I'm so-called a graduate, right? So why did I come into the business? Because I know I don't mind employment, but I do not like the outcome of employment. Okay? This is the outcome. What is the outcome? Back to zero. How many of you agree with me? Right? The rest don't understand my English. All right? And regardless, okay? Let's say you have it all well covered, you have all that. How many of you felt the price of inflation? Have you felt the price of inflation? No, I don't know about Malaysia. I don't know about Malaysia. But in Singapore, we have this thing called the public housing. You know public housing? During my mom era, okay, which is not a big difference, right? It's less than 100 years, right? My mom's era, public housing costs maybe about 30, 40, 50,000. All right? My era, a public housing costs 200,000. Do you know what is the pricing of the public housing now? Almost 1 million. 1 million to buy a Singapore public housing. 1 million. Okay, let's not talk about the big ticket item. Let's talk about every day. You know, even like coffee. Anyone drink coffee? Yeah, we all drink, right? I should ask you how many cups of coffee you drink each day, right? All right. So, you know, last time, $1.80 or $2, you can buy a packet of chicken rice. You know chicken rice? Right? Chicken is good for TR90, right? Good protein. All right? And now, this same amount of $2 only buy you a cup of coffee. And we drink more than one a day. All right? So silently, without you knowing, over the decade, over the last few decades, and it's not many decades, maybe last 50 years, inflation has grown 7 times. 7. Take out a finger count. 1, 2, 3, 7. My question to you is, has your income grown 7 times? No. No, This one I hear the sadness. Has your income grown double? No. You know, and you know, when I was being presented with this opportunity, new skin opportunity, I was Yaya Papaya. You know Yaya Papaya? Don't know why they use papaya, but you know, this maybe it rhymes. And I was very arrogant. You know, I was very arrogant. I said, I don't need this business. All right, so my friend was asking me, okay, fine. since you're so hardworking, right? You work so hard. When can you double your income? And I was speechless. I'm rarely speechless. So I was speechless. Then I realized that, hey, actually, I don't know when I can double my income. All right, and I know that something is amiss. Something is not right somewhere. All right, so my dear brothers and sisters, like I mentioned, I think our mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. And whatever we do today is not for today. Okay, whatever decision you make today, right, will impact 10 years of your life later. All right, so the question is, if you continue to do what you do, can you outbeat inflation? All right, so this is something that I really like. It's not how much you are earning, it's what kind of income you are earning. Do you take this? Is this English okay, understandable? I need a lot of, resonance. I need a lot of feedback, right? Okay? It's not how much you're earning. I know we are paid pretty high. Okay, in Malaysia, in Singapore, our income is pretty high, even in Australia, right? But I think importantly is what kind of income do you want? Okay, an example will be this, all right? Mike Tyson, all right? A lot of us don't know him because he's my era, okay? So he's a boxer. And without you knowing, his income, all right, his income as a boxer was about 300 million US dollar. I think many of us in our whole life have never seen 300 million, right? That's a huge amount of money he earned. But you know the sad part? When he retired, when he's no longer in his prime, he ended up in debts of 23 million. So what went wrong? I think apart from the way he spent his money and all, we can't be in our prime all the time. Agree? We can't be in our peak all the time. All right? The key is not how much you earn when you are at your peak. The key is how much you're earning even when you stop working. How many of you want to continue to earn even when you stop working? This one by right, everybody should put out the hand. If your friend on the left and the right never put out, hey, time to put out your hand. I heard can burn 5 calories. Not bad, huh? So you put up 10 times, you can burn 50 calories. Wow. Let's continue that throughout, okay? Right. Yeah. Some of us say, oh yeah, but now I want to be an influencer. I just came back from Indonesia. They were telling me something that's pretty shocking. So what is a shocking thing that they tell me? They tell me that recently, of recent years, the admission to university is lower. I say, what happened? Did they all study overseas? They say no, because a lot of the Gen Z, they want to be influencer. They don't want to go to university. Right? They think that, oh, being an influencer is so cool, right? So cool, so hip. I do what I love what I do, I dress well, I just speak to the camera, Then, then I can make money. Why I need to study, right? Correct? So it's true, that's what they told me. And this is shared by me by an influencer friend. Okay? She told me. Not I tell you, she told me. That's why I tell you, okay? So, this thing, this circular ring thing, they say that, there's no job security in being an influencer. There's no job security. Agree? She was telling me that income is irregular and never guaranteed. Why? Because some brands, they may be very, very interested in you, but the next moment they are radio silence. All right? Because maybe they found someone younger. They say that they can always find someone younger, prettier, funnier, and more attractive, which is true. All right? And the most shocking thing that I read recently, they were saying about the power of AI. I was reading about this article. And they were telling me that some of the top influencers are actually AI. When you use AI, right, they can dance better than the real influencer. They can talk better, right? So, as much as what we wanted, right, to be, doing the latest in thing, but you realize that instead of in, one day we are out without us knowing. In become out, right? Yeah, so one thing I learned, that actually, no matter what job what platform, what business that we are doing, you must always have two things. Guess what's the two things? If you guess correctly, you get free lunch. You know why I say free lunch? Because I know your lunch is provided by your team leader. Leverage, ma. Remember, no matter what industry you come from, what platform you're in, you must always have these two things, remember. Just check and measure, okay? First, is there a system? Is there a system? All right, because we can't be working forever. Nobody is a robot that can continue to work forever, right? And secondly, is there leverage? Is there leverage in what you do? Meaning, if one day, due to whatever reason, you're unable to show up, okay, do you have a leverage? Is there someone, all right, in your pipeline that can take over and you continue to generate the income? All right, so in whatever profession you're in, whatever choices that you hope to make, is there a system and a leverage? Okay, so what are the two things that you should have? First, second, if your friend on the left and the right is not answering, elbow them. You have my permission to elbow them. All right, because I'm trying to make you move. All right, and of course, a lot of people tell me, yeah, but online business is better. In this business, in New Skin, you have to go and look for people. You got to go and call people. You have to, you have to seek for people. Online is good. People come knocking on your door, right? Yes or no? Online is good. I get people come knocking on my door. And I was talking to some online reseller, some online merchant, online reseller. And they were telling me, now the trend is no longer e-commerce. They say nowadays, people like to buy things by watching live streaming. Live stream like Facebook Live, because sometimes when you see something on Shopee, it's 2D, right? But Facebook Live, wow, they wear this. Then you see, wow, very good, very good. Then they don't want to buy, become buying a lot, right? Yeah, so they the online reseller was saying that Facebook Live streaming or TikTok, live is gaining more popularity than just pure online e-commerce. Is it true? How many of you buy from live streaming? Actually, you don't want to buy, you end up buying. Yes or no? Oh, I know. Now you all only buy from newskin.com.sg, right? And .com.my, right? And, so I was asking them, so how's the e-commerce business coming along? How is it? And they were telling me that it's highly, highly, highly competitive. All right? First of all, when you put on platform, like Lazada, like Shopee, they charge you a platform fee. All right? A platform fee. And the platform fee is forever increasing. It's forever increasing. So it's not free, to list your product online. And secondly, you're lost in the deep blue ocean unless you advertise. Unless you advertise. So those merchants that you see on the top of this website, on top of this e-commerce site, they actually pay an advertising fee. All right, they pay an advertising fee. And the advertising fee is not as low as what you think, All right, and sometimes they even need to share the profit, with the platform. So they need to advertise to be featured. And the price war is crazy. The price war is crazy. Because, when you are buying online, I think you have experienced before, you don't even know who is selling to you. All right, so we actually only compare what? Price. So if today another platform, another merchant offer a lower price, you will be there buying from the other merchant. All right, so the price war is real. All right, so I have this reseller that import all the products. They're importing in all the products to sell. And then the next moment, they open the web, people lower the price. And when they keep lowering, the margin keep thinning. All right? And he was telling me, sometimes you need to hire a lot of people to pack, to send out the products. And then the best part is some people, when they ask for refund or cancellation, there's a lot of extra cost that's hidden. All right? So, my dear brothers and sisters, there's no such thing as an easier business. Agree? All right? If you have this fallacy that there's an easier business, people come knocking on your door, your sales is automated, just like that, I think it's not real. It's not real. All right? So, so that's why. That's an online business. All right? And some people say, but Lilian, in New Skin, you need to go knocking on people's door. You need to find people. But my dear friends, and family. If today you're looking for a business partner, what kind of business partner will you look for? You will want to screen through and look at the business partner that you're hiring, right? So of course you need to go knocking on the door because you're looking out for a lifetime, a long-time business partner, all right? And of course, some people say, no, I want to start my own business. I want to build my own brand. Do you have friends like this? Am I going too fast? Is it too heavy? Are you still here? Wow, brilliant. Your answers are all on point, on correct. Okay, none are sleeping, right? So sometimes we want to build our own brand. Okay, why do I want to work for New Skin? Now remember, New Skin is your company. All right, why do I say so? Because everything that New Skin do is for you. So New Skin is your company. All right, but nevertheless, some people say, they want to build their own brand, their own business. All right, they want to have a sense of ownership from the beginning to the end. Of course, sure, right? Now, let's say today you want to go to Langkawi. You know Langkawi? Is it a beautiful place? Okay, your goal is to go to Langkawi, right? Why you want to go to Langkawi? Nice sand, beautiful beaches, and great hotel, right? All the 5-star hotels are there. So you have two choices. One, you build a boat from scratch because you need to travel by sea. The other one, you use an existing boat because all you wanted was to go to Langkawi. So do you want to build one from scratch? It may be leaking though, right? Or you want to use an existing boat that has ferry hundreds and thousands to Langkawi. Which one do you want? Use an existing boat, right? Because 莫忘初衷, don't forget the initial reason. The initial reason is we want to enjoy our life, right? As young as possible, right? So, we talk about building your own business. Yesterday, I think we heard from Sean about the financial burden. When you start your own business, everything is a cost. Everything. And even if you make money, don't be too happy. Don't be too happy. Yesterday, Sean was saying, right, when he wanted to expand the business, that's where he started to have financial losses. In New Skin, I built my business in 20 countries, right? In 20 countries, I have zero investment, zero. And yeah, zero. So whatever I earn is net profit. Right, so, a lot of people ask me, why do New Skin? I'm like puzzled, I don't know how to answer this question. Because my thinking is, why don't do? Really, seriously, right? And of course, the financial burden. Imagine, how much it costs. And, in the outside world, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Have you heard this before? Right, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Because if you use 100,000 to start a business, and when you use 1 million to start a business, is your return different? So, in the outside world, it's never fair. But in New Skin, even if you are the children of a tycoon, you come into New Skin, you also start from LOI. So this is the fairest business, my dear. In an office, when you step into the office, no matter what time you step in, your boss may come half a day later, but your director may come half a day later, but your income will never surpass your director. So we're actually having the world's fairest business. Don't you realize? Only the people at the front say yes. I think I'm not connecting to the people at the back. I know. You are thinking. Because thinking takes time, right? Those that say yes, never think. Sorry. Okay. I make stupid jokes, so you will laugh. Laughter is the best medicine, right? So you're thinking, right? You're thinking. Really. And, breaking geographical barrier. All right, so some of you ask me, how did I influence Mr. Chua, who is so outstanding? All right, Mr. Chua, he has 2 audit firms, used to be in Ernst & Young, and he's an independent director in a few listed company in Malaysia. He is so outstanding. How do I influence him, right? It's not because of me. It's because of the company that I work with, which is New Skin. Because I was just asking Mr. Chua. I said, yeah, you have 2 audit firms, but how are you going to expand your business outside Malaysia? How are you going to expand? Because the auditing, accounting practice, and the law are different, right? So you can't break the geographical barrier. How do you go to Singapore, for instance, which is just a bridge away, all right? And he sat there thinking, like you're thinking, no answer. But it's good. Means you're thinking. But if you see your friend on the left, right, nodding, please. You're thinking, not nodding. Right? So, breaking the geographical barrier is not easy. Sometimes, I have a teammate. They are a Honda car distributor in Surabaya, but only in Surabaya, exclusively in Surabaya. But in New Skin, I can venture into 54 marketplace. Which one would you prefer? You don't want to give up a forest for 1 tree, right? Yeah, all right. And of course, intense competition. By the time you establish your brand, I think someone has already taken ahead of you, right? Because, in a lot of traditional business, it's always I, me, and myself. But over here, you have a team, all right, which I will elaborate later. And of course, facilitating scalable growth to scale your business. We don't even talk about in outside Malaysia. Even when you scale from KL to Penang to Ipoh to East Malaysia, is it easier said than done? Why? It's challenging because there's no system. And there is no, this side more attentive. Huh? This side remember. This side, what happened? 此图可教也，很聪明，一教就会哈。Yeah. Thinking, this one thinking. But think too long, no good, Can you think and then decide faster? Right, okay. So remember, when there's no system and when there's no leverage, everything becomes extra difficult, even scaling your business. And of course, like simplifying technology adoption. I think during COVID, we have seen, right, company that cannot go online, they died, or I call died. Sorry, Singlish. They died, right? Correct? They cannot go online. And of course, everybody want to be digitalized, right? But do you know how much does it cost to digitalize your business? Someone had a quotation, okay, to digitalize your business about 100,000. Okay, regardless of currency, but I assure you 100,000 is just the beginning, right? So imagine when you want to digitalize your business, you have to cover 100 over 1,000. So whatever money that you earn, 血汗钱, you got to reinvest into your business. So it's a left pocket, right pocket. You can never use the money, but you can see, but it never belongs to you, right? It goes back to the business, all right? And we are so grateful. New Skin digitalized a platform, investing more than 100 million. And I cough out $0. Just my, I just need to share with my friends, all right? So I think, really, we always say the choice is more important, right? Thinking? Are you thinking? So remember this, all right? It's not how big your income, but it's the longevity of your income, all right? It is not how much you earn when you're doing well. It's how much you earn even when you stop working. I think over the years, we have seen people, without them knowing, they lost the ability to work, right? Be it taking care of someone sick in the family, be it they themselves falling sick, be it due to unforeseen circumstances, they stop working. So the important thing is how much you earn even when you stop working. And of course, we always talk about inheritance here, all right? We don't want to, just work so hard and only for our generation. In traditional business, this is a statistics given, actual statistics given, all right? Only 30% of the business, all right, survive in the second generation. All right, as what we can see in Sean's case, right? He's a second generation. Only 30%, 70% of the business failed by the time it reached a second generation. So remember, you work so hard, you build a boat from scratch, and finally you can see the rainbow. You want to pass on to your children. 70% fail. All right, 30% make it, which is good. But you know, by the time you want to pass on to your grandchildren, to the next generation, 12% out of the 30% make it. Wow. Anyone good in math? You know, 12% out of the 30% remaining. That means 84% they can't survive to the next generation. So there's no longevity. There's no continuity. All right? I think by the time I pass my business to my little boy, which is no longer little, all right, you know, he doesn't need to have any special skills. All right? Instead of he taking care of the team, I think my team will take care of him. Seriously. So remember, we are not Superman, we are not a robot, we can't be working forever. And also, that's not our dream life. We don't want to be working forever and ever. All right? So if you don't have a system, all right, you're operating all by yourself. Maybe you're very competent, you're very capable, talented, but honestly, that is a good news and also a bad news. All right? Because your business can't operate without you, especially those self-employed, be it in a property, in the insurance, or be even in investment. I have a friend, she used to work for stock exchange, and then she come out and trade on her own. Then I was saying, wow, very good, huh? You trade on your own. Wow, amazing. But she was telling me it's like a 24 hours job because she watched the US market, you know, and once she takes her eyes off, anything can happen. So she can win and then she can lose, you know, pretty easily. So there's no longevity. There's no longevity. So that's why, my dear brothers and sisters, I think importantly, I think this is what we all want. Agree? All right? I think it's not about the title. Title is not edible. Oh, it's not funny. You know? Oh, okay, you're called a CEO, CFO. What else? COO. I think now we want to call ourselves COE, right? Yeah. Do you know that COE has a shelf life? A CEO has a shelf life. They're being hired for like just a few years. Yeah. Then they need to change a new CEO. Right? So that is a CEO lifespan. All right? Most CEOs, they have a shelf life. And the shelf life is pretty short as compared to our life expectancy. All right? So I think let's be practical. Let's be realistic. Let's not look at things that are superficial. Let's not look at title. You may have a glamorous office in Bukit Bintang or in Shenton Way, but none of it belongs to you. So tell your friend on the left and on the right, wake up. Wake up. Nothing belongs to you. Not even the chair. Not even a computer. Okay? And the best part, you know, when you leave your office, my friends who are working in the bank, they tell me when you're fired, right, someone will watch over you. And when you clear your desk, they make sure you take away nothing, including the name cards, the database, and etc. So, you know, that's why when I was in the hall, when I was being presented this opportunity, I think instead of, despite me being arrogant, I realized that, hey, I need to be grounded. I need to 面对现实. I need to face the reality. Although I was 25, I was a sales director, I was at the peak, but I know that I cannot be at the peak forever. All right, then I realized, actually, what do I want? Okay, what do I want? I think today, before you go out of the hall, before you go home, let's redefine the definition of success. Right? Before that, we think that success is high in the corporate ladder, you know, 5-star living. That's success. But I think the definitions of success is redefined during these 2 days, right? It's having that peace, that stability, you know, that serenity, that tranquility, that is all taken care of. And why is that possible? Because we have a system and there's a leverage. Yes or no? So ask yourself, whatever that you are doing today, do you have a system? Do you have a leverage? If not, you're heading towards really, you know, danger. So I think importantly, no matter what are your dreams, what are your wish and your hope, we all would love to have this long-term, stable, high, passive residual income? Yes or no? This one no need thinking one. This one no need to think unless you don't understand English. How many of you want long-term, high, stable, residual income? Come on. You know? Right. So, of course, let's see. What is the potential here? Right? Everything is about potential value. Right? You must invest in something that's high potential, right? So, of course, you know, some people say, but Lilian, you know, New Skin is here, you know, for 20 years, you know, and it's an MLM company. It's an MLM company. All right. Now, I would like to encourage you, all right, to raise your altitude. You know, it's just like when you're on the 5th floor of a house, what you see is rubbish. You see a lot of rubbish, right? But when you're on the 50th floor, what you see is the entire landscape of the country. That's why when I choose a place to live, be it a hotel or be it my own residence, I like to stay on a high floor because I like to see far and wide. How many of you enjoy this scenery? You do, right? Good. You just burn 5 calories. Continue. 5 only, okay? But 5 not bad, okay? So when I first joined the business, luckily my sponsor told me, this is a health, beauty, and wealth business. I said, wow, very big business, huh? Seriously. That was how I was presented. So don't be so superficial or so shallow thinking that this is like an MLM business. It's a health, beauty, and wealth business. So we call this the wellness business. And wellness is a $7 trillion business. Now, I want to ask you a question. A $7 trillion business is a big or a small business? It's a big business. Tell your friend, wellness is a big business. Yeah, it's wellness. Right? And of course, you know, we all know about pharmaceutical business. Yeah, pharmaceutical is a big business too, right? When you're sick, you have to eat medicine, you have to take drugs, right? So, you know, of course, if you're not a doctor, I think we got no more chance. All right? You know, however, do you know that wellness is 3 times of pharmaceutical industry? 3 times. 3 times bigger. Amazing. All right. So just in case you think that, oh yeah, but you know, the TR90 is saturated, a lot of people is taking TR90. We are just scratching the surface. We are just scratching the surface. We are just scratching the surface. The market is bigger than what you are thinking. It's bigger than what you are thinking. All right. And this global connectivity. All right. I think through these 2 days, 1 night, we have seen success story from all around the region. All right. So, you know, and I think the best thing is you would want a business that's 24 hours, agree? So, you know, I was sharing with you that I have a business that expands to the different parts of the world. So even when I'm sleeping, my counterpart in the US, not a very big percentage, but there are some leaders, you know, Asians, they live in the US, they wake up and they start doing the business. So even when I'm sleeping, the business is still running. And followed by the Europe time zone and so on and so forth. So I think we want a business that's not only restricted to Malaysia, right? Right? In case one day you want to migrate somewhere else, like Alan and Bao Yan, they migrated to Australia, they bring their business along with that. How perfect is that? They don't have to start from 0. Honestly, to be honest, we don't even know where we will be living, right? You'll be surprised one day I'll be your neighbor. Do you want that? Okay, brilliant answer. All right, and you know nowadays the trend is people no longer want to go to office. They no longer, how many of you hate going back to office now? You don't like to go back to office, right? Even when I was sharing in Indonesia, they were telling me 50% of the office is empty. Now after COVID, right, thanks to COVID, nobody like to go back to office anymore. Okay, people like freedom, flexibility, you know, they want to have more control over their time. And I can tell you, in our children generation, they no longer like to go to office. Yes or no? Right? They like to work in cafes, Instagrammable cafe. They like to work in, you know, anywhere, under the tree, all right, facing the sea, except office, right? And this is exactly what our business is all about. Of course, we have seen people going to Grab platform, being a driver and all that. But remember, when there's no system and it's far from a good business, right? And of course, the silver tsunami, all right? So we have more and more people aging, including me, okay? Silver tsunami, right? After 50, for example, okay? And, and we know that after 50, it's very hard to go back to employment, right? And after 50, you wouldn't want to take any more risk. You wouldn't want to take any more risk in taking out hundreds of thousands, your hard-earned, your hard-paid money to start a business. Anyone want that? No, you wouldn't. You want something that is, tranquil, serene, peaceful, long-term, no need to worry, right? It's a different season of life, all right? So it doesn't mean that people after 50 are useless. No. It's just that the outside world are a little bit cruel, all right? Because I have headhunters leader, they told me, any resume above 40, they throw into the tom sampa. You know what's tom sampa? Dustbin. I also learned from them. They throw into the dustbin straight away. They don't even see. No IC. All right? They prefer to hire people in the 30s. But time flies, right? Do you realize? Time flies. Like we are 2024 now. In time to come, you are 2034. You could be 40, but time flies. You are reaching 50. And in New Skin, it's regardless of age. Regardless of age. So long as, you want to look good, you want to look young, and you want to help more people and make more impact, you can join the business, right? As young as 18 to 70 plus, right? So, what else? Where else can we find a business like this? You can capture every single marketplace. Amazing. All right, wow. Woman empowerment, all right? So does it mean the men are not important, right? Where are the ladies? Okay, guys, don't be intimidated, all right? We are so glad, right, when the ladies are stepping up. There's a statistics, due to a lot of, cultural thing, traditional thing, ladies are very often, they stay home, become a housewife, they take care of the family, which is all good. All right, which is all good. The guy bringing the bread and butter, But of recent, this housewife definition has also been redefined. All right? Yes, we still love our family. We take care of our children. We take care of the household. But that doesn't mean we can't have a business, right? We can equally own our own business with the flexibility to be next to our children. Right? Like June, she was mentioning she wanted to be with a child. And I'm sure the girl is always next to her when she's zooming, right? So that's the flexibility. And if we welcome all this lady to the workforce as equivalent to the men, you can actually see it contributes $28 trillion to the economy. 28 trillion. So, before you walk away telling your friend, this is a small business, this is a very kacang puteh business. You know kacang puteh? Yeah, it's a very small business. Think again. Think again, the potential that is awaiting for us. So in summary, if you ask me why New Skin, there's no risk. There's no risk, all right? The only risk is you will lose some fats, some wrinkles, all right, and look younger. That's no risk, right? So that's why I never think so long. Don't think so long, okay, this side. This side, think longer than that side. No need to think, what's there to think? I tell you, the only reason why I became a COE 3 earlier and faster and younger, all right, is because there's nothing to lose, so I just step on the accelerator and I go. I never think so long, right? That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Because I'm sure many of you heard about New Skin before. Agree? You heard about New Skin before. But hearing doesn't make any difference, all right? It's your choice and your decision, all right? And of course, is global business awesome? Yes, of course. You want to earn more than just ringgit, right? Yeah, and you want to have the flexibility to build your business anywhere around the world, all right? And remember, I emphasized a lot about these two words just now. What is the two word? And awesome. Do you know the meaning? Do you need to ask Google? Just to make sure, all right? So, and of course the legacy, right? Because we have seen a lot of second generation, they taking over the business as well. So we want something like this, right? And of course, New Skin, they invest a lot in R&D, all right? So to me, it is not just it's not a regular MLM company. It is a very innovative that invests into research and development, all right? Most companies have one scientist. They have one scientist. But do you know it takes a team? Remember, a team of scientists to have solid innovation and invention. All right? And we invest into R&D. We invest into R&D. Now, what does this mean to you? That means everything that we come up with is evidence-based. It's evidence. It's evidence-based. It's not goyok-based. You know goyok? They sell goyok, goyok. Wow, you see, I eat already, I slim down, blah, blah, blah. No, on top of that, we are 100% evidence-based. All right? When I first joined, I'm a science student, but I failed in my science. So don't ask me anything related to science. I don't know why I'm a triple science student some more. Okay? Luckily, I didn't end up as a scientist. Right? Okay? So, when I hear about double-blind clinical studies, all right, there's a lot of doctors here, right, by the way. When I hear about a 6S quality control, I know there's a lot of substance. All right, there's a lot of substance and everything is evidence-based. So what does this mean to you and me? It means I can confidently tell you that today, if you recommend our product to your friends, we will not malu you or embarrass you. We'll make you proud. We'll make you proud. So you can 放100个心. Okay, you can be so confident when you recommend your friends the product. I mean, look at your friend who bring you here today. Do they look like their age? Look at them. Do you need your specs? All right, some people say, oh, why my face so V, Why my face so V? Later I will show you, all right? Because I spa at least 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah, and I put mask every day. Every day I put new skin mask, water mask, ultimate white, you name it. I put mask, cell tracks mask. I really mask my face every day because my job is the best job in the world, to look pretty and look young. How many of you want this job? That's my job. My job is to look, not pretty and young, prettier, younger. Cool job, right? So cool. So I'm so glad, okay? All right. And this age lock vision is amazing. It's amazing. You know what is the meaning of homia? You know homia? Sorry, I'm a Hokkien, so I quote and unquote a lot of the dialect. When we say someone is homia, good life, good life, it doesn't mean that you have a lot of fortune. It's actually how you pass away. Yeah, the Chinese have this belief, and I'm sure it's across all ethnic groups. So if you die, you pass away in the ICU, sick, unhealthy, on the deathbed, you need a lot of help in your daily living. Is that good life? So what if you are very rich? So what if you are a tycoon? Good life is when you can pass away healthily. That's why in the Chinese, they say, 生老病死. It's the norm, right? And which is, you're born, then you pass, 生老, you age, then you're sick, and then you pass away. You have to, a lot of people, they fall sick before they pass on. But the vision of age lock is to let you pass on healthily. That's a truly homia, That's a truly good life. That's a truly good life, right? So, and of course, we research into your genetic expression. Now, I'm sorry I'm taking a bit longer, but there's so much I want to share with you. And if you can just take away 10%, I don't want 10%, 10% too little, 33% can? Okay, you will at least be a COE 1, okay? All right, why am I so passionate in this business? Because I totally understand the full-blown value of the business. All right, so some people say, hey, why I'm so tall, correct? Today I'm taller, huh? Okay, not because of the new skin product, okay? But it's because of my genetic. Okay, my son is 1.85 at 14 years old. Okay, so it's genetic, all right? So, but a lot of company, my dear, they are addressing the sign of aging, the sign. the sign of aging. But they are not addressing the source of aging. Okay, what does this mean? Now, let's say today flooding, KL always flooding one, right? Flooding, wow, this whole flooding, like imagine the water level rising. Then a lot of you take the mop away the water, or sweep away the water. But it's still flooding, the water level is rising. So a lot of product outside is mopping. They're trying to mop. But still the water is still, it never drops, it's still rising. Right? Why? Because somewhere the tap is broken. The tap is broken. The water keeps flowing out. That's why no matter how you mop, right, other brand, how they mop away your pigment, how they mop away your wrinkle, it will still come out. Because the key is the source. The source is your genes. So New Skin found this youth gene cluster that actually can, enhance your gene expression. Like what we hear yesterday from the doctor, right? All right, to help you to, really, restore back your youthfulness. So that at 50, I can look like 40. Oh. At your 40, you can look like 30, right? And we have this 500 million gene data bank. Imagine you have a data bank, 500 million, not 5 million, 500 million. So can you imagine the kind of innovation that we can have? That's the reason why we are at Discovery Channel. So my question back to you. Today you could be running a business. Or you could be using another brand. Is the product good enough to be featured? Was your product featured on Discovery Channel? No, it's not featured on Discovery. And Discovery Channel is not by paid advertisement. And of course, ageLOC is already a proven $10 billion brand. It's 10 billion. So I'm not here to convince you. Why? Because facts don't lie. It's a fact. All right? There are many brands, they are 10 billion, 20 billion. All right? Many brands. For example, Mercedes, a lot of brand, SK3, a lot of brands. You know SK3? All right. But would they allow you to distribute? Can you partake in the wealth distribution channel? I think the choice is very, very clear. All right? And of course, the innovation is not just stopping at where we are today. They're continuously inventing products. All right? We have our weight loss. Is weight loss a big market? I think I gained about 1 kg after these few days in KL. All right? KL food is really number one. Agree? Okay lah, some say Penang lah. Okay, Malaysia food in general. Okay, I tell you, obesity is an inexhaustible market. It's called inexhaustible. All right, because to be fat is the easiest thing on earth. Some people tell me breathing also fat. I don't know. Correct? Like you lie down sleep, also fat already. Don't know how come like that. That's why the TR90 I do for 20 years. I never out of business one. In fact, my business is always very good. Okay, because the weight loss business is inexhaustible. All right, and we are not stopping here. We even have emotional, cognitive, you name it. All right, any one of you have friends who always got emotional problem one? Angry lah, sad lah, have right? We have to feed them the next product. All right, so that they don't get angry, especially your wife or your husband, right? So you have a more happy wife, happy life, right? So that's why I tell you, New Skin, their innovation, right? They know what people want. That's the brilliant part. All right? They know what people want. All right? That's me. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, is today okay? All right, the transformation. All right, that's why I say discover the best you. Discover the best you. The best is yet to be. All right, so, I'm so grateful. Imagine if I don't do New Skin. I went for a class gathering. Everybody was shocked. I also shocked lah. They are shocked to see me. I also very shocked to see them. So both sides also very shocked. And then the best part, my Chinese teacher, Chinese teacher very serious one, very prim and proper one, no nonsense one. My Chinese teacher came and whispered to me. She said, hey, what are you doing? Can you tell me what is your secret? All right, and of course, you know what happened next. She's our dual user because she's very skinny. She's skinnier than anyone else, right? She's our dual user. All right, so, and you can really, Age is just a number. Age is just a number. All right. So, so how many of you want a business or a profession where your job is to stay healthier, younger, prettier? Okay, the guys may not agree. Better looking. Yes, right? And that's exactly what I do, right? And, this is that I didn't know. All right. And New Skin... And New Skin create millionaires, all right? We create millionaires. Last time there was a program on TV called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? That's actually the highest viewership, in the MediaCorp days that I was in, right? So they create millionaire. Now, of course, there are a lot of other platforms, other companies. But I can tell you one thing, I heard from this company, don't quote me, I unquote this person. Okay, don't quote me. He runs a business that the model, a little bit like a network marketing. A little bit, sama. All right? Then he's a smaller company, and he was telling me something. He's a friend, so he was just telling me. They say, right, they don't have much long-term thinking. Once, the company make money, they can close down and open another company. All right? That's what I heard. I'm not sure if it's true. I'm not sure. All right? But there could be an element of truth. All right? Or I've seen for myself that a lot of companies, right, once they're paying out too much commission, they change the comp plan. They change the comp plan. Once they are paying out too much commission, they keep changing. But I can safely and confidently say that for the last 40 over years, the 6th generation 5% is still firmly intact. Yeah. It's still firmly intact, right? So, and yesterday is just a glimpse. You saw $2 million circle member, 2 circle of excellence. In fact, we have created 1,855. Now, my question to you, in your company that you're working in, that you are so proud to go back to work on Monday, how many millionaires have they created? How many? Is it 0? All right, so this is me. All right, the first 7 years, I achieved my $1 million circle member. Of course, compared to a job, it's quite good. Yeah, if you want to clap for me, please clap. All right. And bear in mind, I started at 25 with 0 experience, okay? And then after I achieved my COE 1, I went for a 1-year honeymoon. I took care of my son for 1 year, and I bring him to 30 countries for holiday before he went to P1. And the best part is, in the second 7 years, I achieved my $10 million circle member. And what's my secret? Because there's a system, right? The system here is called Success Together, right? There's a system, and there's leverage. All right, so that's why the longevity, high, stable, passive income. How many of you want that? Right, you better raise your hand so that, someone from above will see that, right? Yeah, and they will send angels to help you, right? Yeah, all right. So in summary, what is the best platform? Not just about wealth creation, all right? It's not just about wealth creation. Most importantly, can you accumulate and preserve your wealth? All right, think again. It's not about wealth creation. Wealth creation is not difficult nowadays. It's not difficult. But can you accumulate your effort? All right, so you may think that, wow, the second 7 years I did nothing. It's because the first 7 years I did everything for the second 7 years. All right, I worked very hard, almost 8 days a week, if there's 8 days, right? All right, and to accumulate and preserve it. All right, so importantly is that. And you know what? You're not alone. In STWW, right, Success Together Worldwide, what is my favorite word? Together. Together is better, right? All right, together is better and together is easier. Sometimes in a lot of your platform, you're alone and you have to face the storm alone. Like Sean, he mentioned, he's alone. He dare not pick up the call and etc. All right, but in Success Together, we are together. We are in a community. We have a proven know-how. All right, what do you see from all the COE last night? What do you see from me and Henry? You know Henry? Where's Henry? Yeah. All shapes and sizes, right? All backgrounds, right? Right? And you see, Janice is very demure, very gentle, right? It's different from Fifi. Fifi is, very, very outspoken, very friendly. We have all sorts. We have a proven know-how to help you to own your global business. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So when was the last time that someone want to help you to be a millionaire? When was the last time? Never. So you actually have to cherish it. You have to cherish it. When I was talking to my friends in the outside world, they always envy me one thing. They always envy that I have a community like this. They always envy. All right? And not just about the freedom, but we will always have your back. We will always have your back. I think the moment you step in, right, you can feel one thing. The sincerity. The sincerity. It's not, we are not professional speaker, by the way, or professional MC. Pardon us for the, we are not stage people, we are not. But what you can really sense that we really have every intention to want to improve your life and make your life better. That's really our most sincere intention. And all the crew in front, on the stage there and behind, all right, they never even get any reimbursement, any dollar, nothing. They have been rehearsing months before this convention, all for only one reason, because they want to impact your life, even if it's just one person. Serious. Yeah, you may feel that the meeting is so long. Right? Yesterday so long, afternoon until night so long. But my dear, your life is long, Your life very, very long, until 85, until 90, now we age lot, right? You sit here, very comfortable, got aircon, got lighting. They are running around, like crazy people. They're running around, looking, making sure everything is okay, everything. So, really, we are so blessed. We are so blessed that we have a community that always have each other's back. Really, what have we done to deserve this? All right. So, if you tell me, I don't know. Cannot say I don't know. Because Success Together is here to equip you with all the basic training, be it product, be it business, and even personal development. Personal development. All right. So how many of you feel that after joining the business, you become a better person? Put up your hand. You become a better person. Better person, right? Yes. Someone more positive, more confident, more grateful. Isn't that the greatest value in life? And you know what is the best thing that you can do in life? What is the most meaningful thing you can do? Is to add value to people. Sorry, not make money. Money will come when you add value to people. And that's exactly what we do every day. Exactly. That's why some people ask me, hey, why you don't retire? I say, if I do what I love, and if I love what I do, what does retirement means? To me, working is when you have to work for it for money. You have no choice to pay bills, to service your loan. But if you do what you love, and you love what you do, you don't have to retire, right? Yeah. So every time when you go out and share with people TNIT, it's not selling a product. You're adding value to people's life. And that's the best thing ever. The most meaningful thing that you can ever do in your life, right? One of the most meaningful things. All right. So, really, stay in this environment. You may not be the fastest. I was not the fastest. I'm not the fastest. I'm not. But you don't have to be the fastest. The important thing is you never, ever, ever quit. All right, so long as you stay here, one day you will blossom. That I guarantee you. You will blossom one day in your own ways. In your own ways. All right, you cannot compare yourself with anyone, just like I don't compare myself with anyone. All right, and we will all bloom in our own ways. So that's why, last but not least, I think the best motivation is love. All right, we all love our family. How many of you love your parents? We love our parents, right? So those days when I'm down, rejected, you name it, I go back. My best charger is my mom, all right, because she took care of us single-handedly. And if she never give up, I have no right to give up. She never give up, right? I got no right to give up. All right. And any kind of 辛苦都不叫苦. All right. So that was my motivation. My motivation is not love. It's not money. So if you are doing this just for money, you may find it challenging, You'll find it challenging. But if you do it for the person that you love, and for your children, your parents, I tell you the journey is really more enjoyable. All right, so I'm so glad I can be her pillar. All right, this is my little cutie pie. Okay, the cutie pie has grown up today, taller than me. All right, so and I'm just so feel so blessed that I can be their pillar. Other than I look like a pillar lah. I also look like one pillar, right? Okay. You will look like a pillar, okay? You will be the pillar of a family. You are here because you are the God-chosen one. You are chosen in your family. Every family must have at least one person doing new skin. At least one. So, when my mom was, she's in her 70s. So a few years ago, she had like a major surgery, this knee surgery, because when she was young, she worked hard and her knee is gone. So I was just spending all the days in the hospital with her. I stayed in the hospital, and the doctor asked me, "You don't need to work, ah?" The doctor very curious, why I don't need to work. I was with her from morning till night, except I go home and shower, then I come back again. All right, and I said, "You want to stay one more day for the pain management? I'll be there with you. So money else is not important. You are more important." So I was chatting with the doctor. So the doctor said, I said, "You got 3 children. Any one of them becoming doctor?" He said, No. Doctor are quite he was saying it's quite a hard life. He wakes up 7+, he goes to the hospital, see the patient. 9 o'clock, he goes to the clinic. Afternoon, he does an operation. And then he goes home for dinner. At night, he comes for a ward visit. So he was saying that, wow, the life is very long, hours are very long, and it's quite stressful too. All right, and I was thinking to myself, luckily I'm not so smart, I never become doctor. Truth is, I was not smart enough, the truth. Okay, but being smart and wise is different, right? But of course, we love doctors, and we need doctors in this profession to cure the sick. Definitely, we respect the doctors. But and after that, when my mom moved back, I moved back to her house. I took care of her for 1 month. 1 month, I was just, of course, we have helper. I was just there, being there for her. And her friends, my mother's friends, asked my mother, "Hey, your daughter not working, she got money or not?" The aunties gossip lah, they kepo, they ask. And then my mom was smiling, all right? And it just made me think back. I'm so glad I never give up. I'm so glad I persisted. Really, I'm so glad. And then, and whatever she wants, her wish is my command, so good, huh? Yeah, so if you are the mother here sitting, you must make sure your children do new skin, okay? Right? And of course, I bring her around the world, to really enjoy the scenery and the view around the world. And you live your best life forward, right? Yeah, you live your best life forward. So that's why, honestly, when I was in your position, I had a very clear picture of how I want my life to be like. And I hope that today, as you hear all this story, you have a more vivid picture of how your life is like. So even when I was struggling, when I was, trying to be humble, because I came in with nothing, all right? So it was a very humble beginning. I eat bread in the car, okay, bread, driving to JB to do OPP, and the jam was a few hours, all right? So many a times I had a simple meal, or we call cai peng, right? The economy rice, and a quick one, and then I go on to the next appointment. So even when I was really chonging for my business, I had this very clear picture. And where did this picture come from? From all this event, from all these speakers who were sharing. And I can visualize that one day, your life will be like this. One day. So, and the recognition, like what Sean said, he saw himself walking down. Do you see yourself walking down? How many of you see yourself walking down? All right, you actually saw yourself on the big screen, right? Yeah. Okay, and really, and to be together with all these people. And of course, like we mentioned, the Children Heart Fund. Next month, I'm going to Thailand. I'm going to see all these children that are born with a congenital heart disease. I actually hold them in my hand, and I hug them. And the parents' eyes are so thankful, They are thankful. Even the founder, the organizer, right, they were telling me, actually many companies came and did donation. Many. But they only came once or twice. New Skin is the 风雨不改. Regardless, many years, they continue. They continue. Whether COVID, no COVID, recession, no recession, they continue to sponsor these children for the heart surgery. And to date, we have sponsored 16,000 children. 16,000 children. All right, so that's why I think the most meaningful in life is to make an impact and a difference to others, right? Yeah, so, that's why, our system create millionaire. All right, who is the next one? Who is the next one? Make sure from above he hears you, right? Who is the next one? Yeah, right? And just stay close, stay in the system, follow your mentor, your upline closely, all right? He may not be the tallest, the sharpest, but I think the most important, I can guarantee you, he's the one who cares the most. She is the one who cares the most, and this is all that it matters, all right? So, with that, I want to end my sharing here. God bless you, and let's go out and bless more lives. All right, so I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Circle of Excellence 3, Miss Lilian Ong.